Hey there fellow travelers, Mark here with Wolters World, and today we're in the Outer Banks of North Carolina. And today what we have for you are the don'ts when you visit the Outer Banks, but it's really windy here, so we're actually going to go to a little bit more inland so you can get some more of these don'ts. So we left the Bodie Lighthouse, and we're now here, actually where we're staying when we are here, and the beach is just a couple blocks down that way. It's great! And the thing is I'm going to focus on some of the don'ts here that actually deal with the beach, because there are some things you should know, because it's not just go to the beach and not think about it. There's things you do need to think about before you go there, okay? And my first don't for you when you go to the beach is don't mess around with the waves and the riptides. The water here can be dangerous. So when you go there and you're walking along the beach, you go in the water a little too far and the wave comes and pulls you back like, whoa, that was a little freaky. Yes, it can be a bit strong here, so do be careful. And if you're coming with your kids, which you should because there's tons of stuff to do with your kids here, don't leave them on the beachfront by themselves because those tides come in, whoom, it can get them, so just be careful. Now, I'm not saying don't go to the beach because it is awesome to enjoy the beach here. It is beautiful, the views and all kinds of stuff. And to go along with that, I think I'm going to tell you one don't is don't miss the sunrise or sunset when you're on the beach here. Look, watching the sunrise in the morning, it is just gorgeous back there. But even the sunset, the thing is if you're on the other side of the Outer Banks, you can see the sunset going down that way. But it's just gorgeous to walk along the beach. You see the crabs coming out, the ghost crabs going around and stuff like that. It is so wonderful to do that. But just make sure you are safe. Some other don'ts in terms of safety with the beach. Obviously, don't forget your sunblock and a hat when you go out to the beach or when you're here. And also, don't forget bug spray. I mean, there's a lot of bugs that might be biting you when you are here, so do have a heads up with that. Now, for us adults, there's another don't I have for you when you're at the beach, that is don't bring glass to the beach. Now, what's cool is you can bring your drinks to the beach, adult beverages or children's beverages, it's okay, but it is not okay to have glass on the beach. So have your cans or make your drinks before you go and then head out there, you'll be fine. Also, don't think that the Outer Banks has some of those weird liquor laws like you have in other places in the US. Oh no, it's not dry here, okay? It's what's so cool is, don't forget, you can do a drive-through to get your brews. Yes, they have brew-throughs where you literally drive through and you're in your car and like, yes, I'd take some beer here and I'll take some vodka and some other stuff. And they have it right there. You literally drive through it. That is kind of cool when you are here. Of course, don't drink and drive. Obviously, that's a given anywhere you are in the world. And one of the road safety things I'd say is, if you look back there, there's a main road, you'll see people going by. If you see, when you're crossing that road, be careful, because I found that road to actually be more dangerous than the really super busy main road, because people are going down here faster and you got kids coming off the beaches. So don't just run out, obviously, into the street. But what I want to say is, if you see a car stopped, don't just go around them thinking they're just stopped for a second. Make sure you're paying attention, because there's a lot of little kids that come here and families, and their kids are running out there. And I've seen a couple close calls there, so do be careful, okay? Don't be crazy when you're driving there, and don't be crazy when you're going back and forth to the beach, okay? And another thing you might want to know is when you're coming here, don't think it's going to be easy to get to the Outer Banks. One thing is there's no really big international airport really kind of close by, so wherever you're coming into, you're going to be driving to get here, okay? So don't think that that's easy. Also, there's not a ton of entry points coming on to the Outer Banks, so I would say is don't freak out about all the buildup like at Nag's Head when you come in and you have like all, it's like a box store and it's, you know, a Walmart here or a McDonald's and stuff like that. Don't worry about that. If you go north and south from any of the entry points, a few miles, it really thins out, so that's kind of a cool thing to know. Another thing I want to say about the accommodation stuff, there are some hotels here, but the thing is, this is a vacation destination and it is all rental properties like this, so make sure you get online and book a house when you are here, and there's a lot of great rental properties here. The one we're at is freaking awesome, okay? It's just a really cool place to be, but there's tons of them here, and there's tons of tourists that come here and enjoy it here, so it's really set up for tourists, and it's for older tourists, yes, the brew-throughs, but also for younger tourists as well. They've got, I mean, you can't throw a stick without finding something for your kids to do, from putt-putt everywhere, mini golf everywhere, go-karts, movie theaters, dune buggy stuff, all kinds of cool things, all right? But I will say is, if I can recommend a time of the year not to come here, don't come mid-July through mid-August, because that is the peak time, okay? If you are going to come at this time, don't forget to book way in advance, okay? Because it is packed out. We're here the end of June, and it's fine. I mean, there's hardly any lines. The beach is empty. It's really cool. But just make sure you do know that mid-July, mid-August, let's say 4th of July through mid-August, that's when you're going to be really frustrated with just packed full of people, okay? Other times, I mean, like I said, May, June, you're going to be fine. End of August, September, you'll be fine. It is just gorgeous here, so you'll be all right. But just have a heads up for that. Another thing is, don't think it's just the beaches and drinking and stuff like that. I'd say if you're a kid or you're a kid at heart and you know about the national parks and national monuments passport, don't forget to bring your national park and national monument passport, because they have a couple national monuments here. You can go to Kitty Hawk, where the Wright Brothers flew their planes the first time. You get a stamp there for your passport, or you can get one at where I was before, at the Bodie Island. You can go there. There's another one there. So there are some really nice things to see historically when you are here, and there are lighthouses up and down the Outer Banks. But I will say one don't about the lighthouses: don't think you can go into all of them. Okay, you can see them from outside, but don't think you can go in every single one. A couple more beach tips I have for you. One is, don't forget when you come back to your rental property that you use the shower. And what's cool is, don't be scared of the outdoor showers. We love them. If you have one that's closed off, you can shower au naturel outside, which is kind of a cool feeling. That is something different that we don't do in the cold places where I live. So that's kind of a cool thing. But of course, if you're going to go au naturel, make sure it's one that's closed in, all right? But you want to get all that sand out of here, because it will be everywhere. As Liam has informed me, he's like, "Dad, I hate the beach because the sand gets everywhere." I'm like, "Yes, I know, buddy, it does." But don't be afraid to use those outdoor showers. Another don't I have for you, if you're thinking about driving on the beach, okay? And in some places you can, okay, but make sure you need to know if you need a permit to do it or not, so heads up for that one. But don't just go crazy on them. Make sure you got a four-wheel drive vehicle. Make sure you know what you're doing. You're watching out for things, because if you want to go see the wild horses and stuff like that, you do need to have some four-wheel drive vehicles. So there is that there. Another thing is, don't think you can camp on the beach. I know a lot of people are like, "Oh, it's a beach, it's open, I'll just camp here." You should use the campgrounds when you are here, and a lot of the campgrounds are like right on the beach anyway, so you're like on the beach anyway, but it's a campground and you don't have any problems that way. Now, there are some things you want to make sure you do have to eat when you are here, because I don't like to forget the food when we do talk about coming to places. Number one, don't forget to grab some North Carolina barbecue. The thing is, the barbecue here is the ribs and the pulled pork and stuff like that. But the thing is, what makes North Carolina barbecue is the sauce. And it's actually a vinegar-based sauce. It's a very liquidy barbecue sauce you'll have here. And so if you're thinking of that sweet, thick, tomato-based stuff you have like in Georgia and stuff like that, it's not like that. It's a vinegar-based one. Also, don't forget to eat the seafood when you are here. Man, I had some amazing she crab bisque. Oh, it was so good. Some soft shell crab. Oh my God, it's so nice. You have all kinds of great seafood. Obviously, when you're on the sea, you're gonna have great seafood. When you are here, you have that. But I'm gonna say, at least one of your breakfasts, at least one, or maybe all of your breakfasts, don't forget to go to Duck Donuts. And Duck Donuts have now expanded out of the Outer Banks. There are a lot of places, but there's a lot of Duck Donuts here. And what makes Duck Donuts kind of special, it's kind of like a Chipotle kind of version of donuts. Like, you pick what you want on your donuts and you see them make your donuts in front of you. So you're like, yeah, I'd have a maple bacon one, I'll have this kind. And they literally make it up. You wait in line and go through and they make it right there, and it's really great. And another don't I have for that is, don't get freaked out about the lines at Duck Donuts, because they actually move you through relatively quickly, and it was like kind of a cool experience, because you're watching the donuts getting made and you're like, "Oh, number 7, you're up. Oh, that's me, I just saw it be made." And that was kind of cool when we were here. And my last two here before we go back to the lighthouse: one, don't feed the animals, okay? Don't feed the gulls or the pelicans, because they'll keep coming back. I know you think, "Oh, isn't that cute?" No, it's not. Don't feed them, all right? That's a really serious thing. And the second don't I have for you is, don't think you can walk on all the sand dunes here. Some you can walk on, it's no problem. Others, they might be planting grasses and stuff on, so just know which ones you should and shouldn't go on before you go. So that's what I want to say. But we'll finish this off heading back to the lighthouse, because that's way better than just me longing to go to the beach here one more time. So we're back here to finish off. And our last kind of don'ts we have for you have to deal with when you do stay here. One thing you need to know is, don't think if you stay on one side of the highway versus the other side of the highway with your friends, it's going to be easy to get to. That main drag down the Outer Banks, it is extremely busy all the time. And so it does take time. So you might want to take a right in order to take a left. So do have a heads up for that. Also, if you're going to be going where the wild horses are, remember, you're probably going to need a four-wheel drive vehicle. So don't forget, you need a four-wheel drive vehicle, and you don't always see them when you go there, so you might want to take a tour to make sure you see them, but it is kind of cool. But have a heads up for that. one of the don'ts I have for you is don't approach them. You're actually not supposed to be within like 50 feet of them. But if they happen to come up to you, that's one thing. But if you're approaching them, don't do that, okay? So have a heads up for that one. And I do have one more safety don't when you are here in the Outer Banks. Don't let your kids just walk in the parking lots. It's like people feel that the parking lots are racing areas, it seems like, here. So do have a heads up. Do be careful with that, because that's one of the things is don't drive crazy in these, but don't not pay attention, because I've seen way too many people almost get nailed by people just flying through these, flying through the parking lots here in the Outer Banks. So just want to add that one, because that is a safety thing. Anyway, I hope you liked your don'ts of visiting the Outer Banks. If you want to learn more, 5 things to eat when you come here to North Carolina, the shocks of visiting the South, check us out on our website at woltersworld.com. We're also on Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, YouTube, and we really appreciate your likes, subscriptions, and we say bye from the Outer Banks.